This has been around for a little bit, but I haven't covered it yet. But this was in the news about a week ago. All right, so Facebook is going to have to pay $40 million under a proposed settlement in a video metrics suit. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Now, it's saying that advertisers would collect the bulk of the money after alleging Facebook inflated the average time users viewed video on the platform. So on Friday, several advertising agencies revealed the details of a proposed settlement with Facebook that would end a class action alleging the social media giant overstated the average time its users spent watching video. According to a brief in support of the settlement, Facebook would pay $40 million to resolve claims. Much of that would go to those who purchase ad time in videos, roughly $12 million. Or 30% of the settlement fund is earmarked for plaintiffs' attorneys. The suit accused Facebook of acknowledging miscalculations in metrics upon press reports, but still not taking responsibility for the breadth of the problem. The average viewership metrics were inflated by only 60 to 80%. Oh, wait, here we go. So here's what they're saying. The average viewership metrics were not inflated by only 60 to 80%, which that's pretty high anyway. They were inflated by some 150 to 900%. So what's going on here? Facebook. So now keep in mind, Facebook at one point, and maybe they still are. I mean, there's a good chance they still are, but it's not as vocal. Facebook was trying to compete with YouTube. That's what was happening. Facebook was trying to beat out YouTube. As a result, if you posted YouTube links on Facebook, they would kind of hide it, sort of like only like 10%, especially if you posted a Facebook link, or excuse me, a YouTube link to like your fan page, only like 3% of your entire everyone who likes your page, only like 3% would see it. They would suppress was the word I was looking for. They would suppress YouTube links, and they still do. And they would flag it more often too. They would flag users who would share YouTube links. I saw it happen. People would email us all the time, showing us the screenshots. They would share Jimmy Dore Show videos, and they would get flagged. And sometimes their accounts would even get, suspended. So Facebook was doing that because they wanted to compete with YouTube. They wanted to overtake YouTube. So another thing they did to try to overtake YouTube, they wanted to get advertisers because they wanted to offer ad revenue for content creators. They wanted to unroll that. So they inflated their numbers to their advertisers. They said that they were getting more view time than they were getting. They said that they were getting more watch time than they were getting. So they misled advertisers on purpose through a, quote, faulty metric. But here's something interesting. You know who really paid for this too? A lot of content creators. So this is something that Adam Conover said. Now, I've never watched Adam's show. He has a show called Adam Ruins Everything. I've heard it's interesting. I've never watched it. I've only met the guy once. We were on a show together once, but I really like what he tweeted here. Check this out. So this is from Adam Conover's Twitter. My former employer, College Humor, did this. All right, so here's the this he's referring to. Here's something that Professor Scott Galloway tweeted. He's tweeting about this issue, and he's saying the viewership metrics were inflated by 150 to 900%. Well, companies shifted their strategy to video. So companies going bankrupt, people losing jobs, Facebook's get away with a 0.18 of annual income slap on the wrist. So what he's saying is people invested in Facebook video thinking they were getting this type of exposure. Really, they were being lied to by 150 to 900%. They were actually getting about 900% less than what Facebook was saying they were getting. So Facebook said, hey, it could have been up to 900%. So it could have been, hey, 900 people saw this. In reality, it was 0. It could be up to 900%, keep in mind. 150 to 900%. So that's what Facebook was doing. Now, what Adam Conover points out here, it's not just the advertisers who got screwed. Check this out. Here's what Adam Conover tweets. My former employer, College Humor, did this in order to beat YouTube. Because that's what Facebook was trying to do. They were trying to beat YouTube. Facebook faked incredible viewership numbers. So College Humor pivoted to Facebook. So did Funny or Die and many others. The result, a once thriving online comedy industry was decimated. A $40 million fine is laughable. Shut Facebook down. I agree with him. I agree with Adam, but that's a great tweet by Adam Conover there, because that's another side to it too. It's not just the advertisers who were lied to. but content creators took the gamble on Facebook and got crushed for it. There was a much more thriving online community at one point. College Humor is one of them. Funny or Die used to be thriving. But then what happened is a lot of them, as Adam Conover points out, they went over to Facebook thinking there's more views there. We're going to get more views if we go over to Facebook. So they started pushing their model that way. It didn't work out. They went under because they weren't getting the views. So they weren't getting the ad revenue. You get the idea. So Facebook has really done so many things to kind of corner their market share of online commerce, and so much of it is dishonest, and then they get literally a slap on the wrist. 0.18%. Make sure that number was, 0.18% of their annual income. How much money do you think they made off that scam? I bet it was a lot more than $40 million. And they're still seeing the benefits from it. This was able, here's how they were able to get away with this scam. Here's all the things they benefited from this scam. A, they wiped out more competition. Because other platforms, Funny or Die, College Humor, just to name a few other platforms, and I'm sure there were platforms not just in comedy, there were probably platforms in music, platforms in other types of video, would go to Facebook for their content thinking they were getting more views because Facebook was lying about the numbers. And then they'd go under. So Facebook now knocked out some more competition because of their own deceitfulness. And they got all kinds of money from advertisers thinking they were getting more exposure than they were actually getting. So Facebook screwed over a great multiple to a great magnitude of people, advertisers and creators and other platforms. They screwed over all of those entities. All of them got screwed over, and Facebook still wins. And what do they get? A 0.18% slap on the wrist.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together